Clinton Massar is a 28-year-old photographer on a mission to bring about social change. He uses the camera as a tool for empowerment of the weakest and neglected sections of the society. Recently, his works, a collection of pandemic memories, were featured by Zuban. A social worker by profession, Massar has also worked on a UN project on social photography in Europe. Today, we will be in conversation with a young photographer to know more about the works and the road ahead.
As a photographer, I have been in this field for since 2012. There was training happening. There was, I got into a lot of workshop for photography training, and then being in the social work field and trying to, bring about seeing change, how photography can be a change in the community, in the society. And then the whole idea just came in, that how I can connect photography and social work with my profession. And that's how the whole involvement of ideas just came in, through meeting people, through understanding the issues, social issues, understanding the problems in the community. And that's how the whole idea came in while I was back there in Mumbai and was working with the survivors of human trafficking. So the whole idea just came in, that this can be social change photography, where photography can be a medium towards bringing about change. Pictures can really speak a lot of things, a lot of emotions can come through pictures, a lot of ideas can really bring about, and then a lot of passion can really bring about through pictures. So yes, that's how it all started.
Okay.
So the first project I remember was while I was there in Mumbai, and then that's where I actually was working with the survivors of human trafficking, and they were telling me that you cannot take pictures of them because they are people. I mean, it's a very sensitive subject, it's a very sensitive area, and we cannot expose them. So I cannot take. So in Meghalaya, the projects that I've worked on was with the street vendors, and then the street children. I mean, there are projects with the street children, then with the girls' home, A.W. Thomas Girls' Home, where they also went about to take pictures around and all, empowering them actually, and then also with Faith Foundation.
Talking about the pandemic, how was your experience last year?
So now we're coming back with the pandemic. So I would say it was very challenging, very overwhelming, very much, it was a situation where everyone has to face it, and it's a global issue. So it was very challenging, and my experience towards it was, I literally had to come to the point, it was affecting me mentally and physically, because being at home for 24 hours, I mean, it's not a matter of joke. When you are such an active person, you've been going around doing a lot of things, being a busy person and all of a sudden your life just come into a standstill point. So it was very challenging, but I really had to come out of the box thinking what I should do to be productive. And then so there was a lot of reading, there was a lot of me getting involved with a lot of online classes, a lot of online course. And then I was also working with the health department, but that time I was not, we had to stop the work because we couldn't go to the field. I was in the field-based work. And then so it was a bit challenging, but out of it, I would say I did a lot of things that were so productive, and learning new language, learning about new photography tricks as well, and then learning about watching a lot of documentaries, and then so everything was really, really upgradable, I would say, for me. My knowledge has been upgraded, and then everything was way more better than I feel when you know that you can be productive at that point of time. So 2018 and 19 I was in Germany for working with the Institute for Arts and Culture, and I was there working working with schools, working with projects on refugees, and working with this other organization, exhibiting these pictures and talking about social change photography as well. So yeah, it was very an interesting project, and then it was more to see about how to just make an awareness about what social change photography is all about to the team back there in Germany. And it was a very interesting project, and we did also manage to take a few projects from the social change photography as well. And yes, it was challenging because it was a new concept out there, but it was also very much of new learning for me, where I understand how at a different country you learn so many things. You learn the language, you learn the people, and you understand how the refugees' lives are there back there, and then you understand the whole context. So it was a very good learning, I would say, for me. And coming back from there, being here again, it was a new phenomenal change that has happened to me. But yeah, adjustment, adaptable, and getting into the whole field again now, it was very interesting, I would say. It was very, very interesting, yeah.
Okay. So, social work is your profession,
Yes.
and photography is your passion. So, how do the two meet at a creative point in your life?
So yeah, so that's what, while I was actually doing my bachelor's in social work, master's in social work, then the whole idea was, comes through reading, comes through when you travel, when you meet a lot of people and all, and when you understand social issues, the community issues, society's issues, then yeah, and the main turning point was working with the survivors of human trafficking. So that was where I understand that photography can become a change, can become a medium. The passion that I had, it can also be transferred to other people, and it can also be that same passion when they look at these pictures. So through pictures, there's a lot of things that you can speak about. There's a lot of things that, it can really define in those subjects that are there in the pictures. So it was at that point where I know that this is how social work and photography can be there. So it's all the evolvement of social change photography. Yes.
But how do you balance now that you have?
I think the inspirations would really come from books and traveling. And yeah, I've been really traveling a lot, going to these places, going local, staying with communities, staying with people. So yeah, I would say books and traveling, and then watching a lot of documentaries would also really get into these whole kinds of ideas. Yeah, being creative. Yes.
So like traveling is like another interest of yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so traveling for me, I think it's another kind of a hobby for me, where I feel it can be very refreshing. It can be you really learn a lot of things through traveling. That's why I always encourage young people to go solo. Now that I'm really doing a lot of solo traveling, so I think you just meet in incredible people. You just meet in awesome people through another place, and they just they just turn out to be so awesome with sharing a lot of knowledge with things you don't know. And yeah, all these kind of, the hands-on experience, or I would call it the learning while you're traveling, that's very, very important for me. I would never go luxury or anything, but I would really go local and staying with communities, staying with them, but then meeting local people and understanding the culture, the language, the whole system. That for me is another learning, I would say. Yes.
Now that the COVID positive cases are rising, any message for the citizens?
I think everyone knows exactly what they need to do with the whole protocols, with the whole situation that is really taking up very serious right now. My only message to the people is you need to take care. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for everyone else in the family, for the community. So I don't think we should ever neglect this kind of an issue right now. Wear your mask, do whatever you have to protect yourself from this pandemic. And yeah, it's all about getting our hands together, working for this thing to end. So please take care of yourself and take care of your dear ones, take care of the people around you, take care of the community. It's a self-care basically now that we need to all be aware of. So yeah, you just have to really take care of yourself. Thank you.